I run one of Nigeria's largest NGOs, to the glory of God. And I started that NGO in 2018, shortly before I became a law student. Today, my NGO is 6 years old, and we've done over 75 projects across 20 states in Nigeria. And that's just a fragment. So I'm not saying this to brag, because I just want to put context into the level of workload it looks like. And then I've had to travel for some conferences, I've had some internships in between, right? So I would say the first thing, but I didn't just stumble into like saying, oh, I want to run an NGO. 7 years ago, if you had asked me, I would say, what is an NGO? Do you understand? Like, why am I doing that? But it was more or less aligning to purpose. So the first question is, you have to sit down and ask yourself, really, what is your purpose in life? And if you're a Christian, I encourage you to just spend time praying about that, so that you don't just start chasing the wind. Do you understand? Secondly, I would say that you have to lean into your talent. So there's something that you already have with you. You understand? Maybe it's speaking, maybe it's a flair for drawing or something. You can try to see how you can hone that. That's when it comes to volunteering. And then in the first few years of volunteering, let's say the first 1 year or 2 years, a number of times what you're doing might not necessarily have an inclination, right, to studying law. But there is a law or principle called transferable wisdom. Can you write that down? Transferable wisdom. What that basically means is that now I've been running my NGO for a couple of years, but there are a number of things I've learned through my NGO that I can apply, right, when I become a lawyer, and vice versa. So you might feel that, oh, even if I'm studying law now, will I even use the course? But there are a number of things that you're learning as well as a law student. So let me give you an example. I've signed a number of contracts, right, over the past couple of years. And because I'm a law student and I have an understanding of that, it has helped me to know how to sign contracts and not be in a vulnerable position. Do you understand? Also, I'm talking about signing contracts for grant funding. That's money coming into my NGO from international organization. I have not necessarily sometimes have to like consult a lawyer because I have an idea of what that looks like. So you see, even if you don't get to use your law degree, just take it very in quotes, because you really don't know what's going to happen later in life. Just take your commitment to study law very seriously. For instance, research as well. So there's a way you will start to speak when you study law, when you start to read books. So me personally now, I'm into public speaking. I'm invited to a number of countries to speak. And because of the level of my vocabulary, there's a significant difference when I speak. Do you understand now? Compared to when I was speaking when I was in year one. And I get paid to speak. Do you get? So you see, these are ways you can transfer your wisdom. That's knowledge you're getting from law. You feel like I just reading. But all those big things you're reading, once I finish writing exams like this, I have to slow down when I'm talking to my staff, because I start to use some very big words and I have to slow down so I don't get them overwhelmed and confused. So don't think that studying law is only about the certificate that you get at the end of it. No, it's a whole plethora. Also, when I get to like international spaces and they ask me, oh, what are you doing? I tell them, oh, I'm a law student. There's a kind of prestige it has, right? So I'll just list out some things that you should take note of as I round up.
Repost to help more students understand why school is not scam. Follow for part 2.